Thursday, red for Nebraska and red for Oklahoma. 1912. It was at this site in Lincoln, Nebraska that the 58-game series between Oklahoma and Nebraska was spawned. And according to those early accounts of the 13-9 Cornhusker victory, it was an appropriate preview of the many classic battles to follow. The speedy Oklahomans and the powerful Nebraskans. Legendary coach Benny Owen led those early Oklahoma teams, and in the school's next meeting in 1919 on a snowy field in Omaha, Coach Owen's thin-skinned players, as they were quoted from the South, took the blankets from their hotel, using them to keep warm during the game. After a 7-7 tie, the Sooners left Nebraska, and according to reports, Coach Owen did return the hotel's blankets. When Oklahoma was on the road in those days, in the 1920s, football fans would gather outside the Western Union office in Norman, where a play-by-play account of the game was read by megaphone to the crowds in the street. 1922 was Nebraska's first visit to Oklahoma, and despite the fierce heat and a 30-mile gale, Cornhuskers were victorious. First trip down to Soonerland, 39-7. OU's first win in the series would be 2 years later, 1924. Described this way in the Cornhusker yearbook, the Dawsonites made a drab showing, allowed the Indians to give a lesson in the gridiron art at the costly reckoning of 14-7. The Sooner Gladiators overlooked nothing in encompassing Nebraska's defeat. But Nebraska held the edge in the 1920s, winning 5, losing 1, and tying 1. In the 1930s, it was the reign of the little colonel at Nebraska, Coach Dana X. Bible. His teams dominated the Big Six Conference and were 6-1-1 against Oklahoma clubs. In the 1940s, Oklahoma gained the advantage, winning 7 of 10 meetings. The 40s marked the beginning of a Sooner dynasty. The architect, Bud Wilkinson. His teams dominated not only Nebraska, but every other school in the Big 7 Conference. Starting in 1948, Oklahoma won 10 straight championships. But Wilkinson's string of 75 straight conference games without a loss ended in Lincoln in 1959 when Bill Jennings' Huskers pulled off a thrilling 25-21 upset. In the 1960s, Nebraska's football fortunes took an upswing under Bob Devaney, who led the Huskers into national prominence. He coached Nebraska until 1973, when he retired, naming his top assistant, Tom Osborne, to replace him. Same year, Oklahoma selected Barry Switzer as its coach. Switzer won 5 straight from Osborne until a Nebraska win this past season. So the stakes are usually high when Oklahoma and Nebraska meet. Throughout history, the Sooners and Cornhuskers have either won or shared 14 of 20 Big Six Conference titles, all 10 of the Big 7 championships, and since the Big 8 was formed in 1958, it has been either OU or Nebraska on top for all but 2 of the 21 seasons. And they meet again tonight on NBC in the famed Orange Bowl. The nation's 2 top offenses, Nebraska and Oklahoma, Orange Bowl 79.
NBC Sports presents the College Bowl season, featuring the best in college football postseason action. Today from Miami, Florida, Oklahoma versus Nebraska in the 1979 Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl is brought to you.
The famed Orange Bowl packed to capacity, nearly 80,000 fans on a warm Florida night to see Oklahoma battle Nebraska, number 4 against number 6, and Oklahoma Sooners still with designs on perhaps a national championship. Happy New Year, everyone. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. It was a great 1978 for us. Looking forward to this year.
Feel the same way, and what a great place to start 1979. Here in the Orange Bowl, a perfect night for football, and 2 great football teams on the field wanting to play football, especially, I think, Oklahoma. They've got a lot to prove, Dick. They stubbed their toe against Nebraska early. They also stubbed their toe here in this game, the Orange Bowl, last year, an upset victory by Arkansas. They've got 2 big reasons to want to win this game. And, of course, Nebraska's a proud team. I think we got a great matchup.
As you know, after Nebraska beat Oklahoma 17-14 in Lincoln on November 11th, they lost to Missouri and lost their own hopes of a national championship. They were down when they heard the news that they would have to play Oklahoma a second time. But Tom Osborne says time has healed, and now the psychology of the Huskers is, hey, a chance to beat Oklahoma twice in a year. No one's had an opportunity for that.
Few teams have managed to beat them once in a year, and this is a great confrontation for the seniors on this team especially. One more shot at their great arch rivals, and I think it's a very exciting opportunity for us to be a part of a special game like this.
And it is special because these are the two top offenses and the two top scoring teams in the entire nation. And one of the reasons the man voted the outstanding football player in the college ranks this year, number 20 of Oklahoma, Billy Sims. And going back to his high school days, everyone knew Sims from Hooks, Texas was going to be a great one.